What's going on YouTube? So today I'm going to talk about Baker Mayfield and his contribution to the Carolina Panthers. If you haven't heard, the Browns traded Baker Mayfield to the Carolina Panthers for a 5th round, which the Carolina Panthers actually got a steal, and here is why. So let's get into it. Let's see what Baker Mayfield can bring to this team. So last year, 17 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. He did have, let's go down here so I can show you, 6 fumbles and 1 rushing touchdown. And if you want to compare him to Sam Darnold, if you want to, here is Sam Darnold's stats. So Sam Darnold, basically Sam Darnold had 9 fumbles. Baker Mayfield had 6. Sam Darnold also had 5 rushing touchdowns. And let's go up to the stats here. Sam Darnold had 2,500, pretty much 2,500 passing yards. Oh, wrong one. Bear with me here. Here it goes. So, yep, 2,500, basically 25, 27 in the passing yards. Then he has 9 touchdowns with 13 interceptions. Also, he did have the 9 fumbles? And 5 rushing touchdowns, so 14 total touchdowns. Now, here is the thing a lot of people are missing. With Baker Mayfield, yes, he did have a bad season, but the seasons prior, he at least had 27 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. His first season, okay, yeah. 22 with 21, he needs a little work. Second year into the league. Third year, he came into who he's supposed to be. 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and last year he had a bad year. Now let's get into what happened last year. And look, as you can see, he's been averaging 3,700, 3,800, 3,500. So let's say, for instance, on the low end, he's averaging 3,600 passing yards. Right? This is just a quick average. I don't have the accurate numbers in my head, but he is, I want to say he's 500 yards from his average. 500 yards. So let's actually look at what happened to the Cleveland Browns last year. And if you actually look at the injuries, you're going to start realizing that he really didn't have anybody to throw to that year. Other than Landry, but Landry, he got hurt as well. So let's look into it. Now, start at the top of the list. So, and for us to understand the Cleveland Browns are pretty much a run-heavy play-action team, and Baker Mayfield benefits off of passing the football to different wide receivers off after running the ball down, I guess, football teams' throats. Now, this is my opinion. As I look at the Browns, I think they're more of a run-heavy team, but what actually happened? So, as you can see, Odell Beckham, he was questionable and he was out with a knee injury. Now, you have this right here. You have Bradley, he's out. And then you're going to have a tight end. Then you're going to have a offensive lineman, another tight end, another offensive lineman. This guy was another offensive lineman. And you're going to have a fullback that's out. As we go down the list, as we see, you have a wide receiver, Landry, which was he was a number 1, and Odell Beckham was a number 1. So they can be, what you can say, you can switch the positions with them. But it doesn't even matter at that point because Landry was out. But here we go. So when Odell Beckham was out with his knee, was he 100%? We don't know. And now Landry went down. You have a backup wide receiver who went down, and another backup wide receiver who went down as well. Where is he? That's a corner. I believe. Is it Phillips? Yeah, Phillips. I believe. No, hold on. Give me 1 second. Switzer. I believe. Here, let me look. All right. There he goes. There goes your 4th wide receiver out. So, what does this mean? Obviously, you have to move the ball. And one of the ways the Cleveland Browns move the ball is running. So, you have two tight ends, especially in a run-heavy offense. Tight ends are very important because they provide more block assistance. Then you have offensive linemen out. Not only that, and most of these offensive linemen, so this guy, he ain't out until, the end of the season, but who is the other offensive lineman? But these tight ends are out at the same time. That's a tight end, this is a tight end. So now your run game is suffering, as well as who are you throwing the ball to? So when Odell Beckham came back, was he 100%? Was he not? We're not really sure, but he ends up getting traded to the Rams. So in my opinion, I feel like they kind of rushed Odell Beckham back because what happened to Landry and to the other wide receiver. And they say, hey, man, we just need you out there. He felt some type of way. And when he was out here, he did not produce as well as he could. So that knee probably isn't at 100%. They probably rushed him out there just to have somebody out there so they can at least run some type of offense, putting his health in more jeopardy. This is just my opinion. And now, since he feels some type of way and he's upset with the organization, they end up trading him to the Rams, which he produced 5 touchdowns. With that being said, we really can understand why Baker had a rough season, because if he's in there and he's not producing, then you have your backup wide receivers out during the same period, with another wide receiver that I just showed you out, and Landry out during the same period, with your running games not running, your wide receivers are thin, and your tight ends are out. Plus, here's a fullback, and your fullback is out. So most of your keys for blocking for offense are out. And then you have your little injuries, or you have your injuries on defense as well. But the offense suffered. And because that offensive line suffered so much, and as far as blocking, as far as injuries, and Baker Mayfield got hit. And actually, let's look at Baker Mayfield's stats to make sure that my theory is correct. How many times did he get sacked last year? 43 times. 43 times compared to, is it Sam Darnold? I think Sam Darnold only got sacked, I want to say 35 times. And he was running with the football most of the time, in my opinion. All right. So 43 times he took that many sacks. He had no wide receivers to throw to. His running game wasn't working. I'm just putting everything in perspective right now. So is Baker Mayfield a bad quarterback? No, he's not a bad quarterback. He was in a bad situation last year. He had a bad year. Let's not, take that away from him. But I think he will bounce back. And in my next video Wednesday, we're going to really break down their opponents. But his bounce back isn't going to be as significant as many people think. And then you're going to start hearing, oh, Baker Mayfield's done next year. No, I'm going to show you what's actually happening as far as his opponents, as far as things that he got going on, as far as playing for Carolina, and all the upside the Carolina Panthers have. So I just wanted to share that with you, what Baker Mayfield can bring to the Carolina Panthers. To sum it all up, is 1,800 yards passing with 12 extra touchdowns, and you can't go wrong with that. But again, that's all I have for you today. My next video will be out Wednesday, and most importantly, guys, when you are evaluating these teams, you got to make sure you look for stats that you can depend on and look for past information. If you see anything off, we really want to research that and make sure that we can go ahead and kind of understand how did we get to that point. As far as Baker Mayfield in his last year, does he still have a lot of football left? Yes, he does, in my opinion. But like, subscribe, share. Most importantly, guys, bet wisely. Appreciate you.